Hi everyone, it's Kino here. Thanks for joining me for this 1 hour yin practice. I really love the drop down space of yin to help kind of bring the nervous system into a more quiet space of regulation and harmony. I'm very interested in this space of yin to deconstruct the elements of a more rigorous asana practice and kind of bring you into a more meditative space. I'm also very much interested in kind of extending the meditative space into the asanas that we'll be doing today. So I have 2 yoga blocks and a bolster. And if you want to grab something like that, this will put you in a good space for the practice. If you don't have a bolster, then just a big sofa pillow or a bed pillow will probably do as well. If you don't have 2 blocks, then 2 books or 2 more pillows, a little bit smaller, would probably work as well. Or 2 blankets or towels that you could fold up as well. Good. So let's get started. We'll begin in a comfortable seated position. Close the eyes. Then gently allow your hands to come together. Long, deep breath in. As you exhale, rest your hands down to any comfortable position. We begin with a short meditation, starting off with the traditional Anapanasati, inflowing, outgoing, breath awareness. Keep your attention focused inside the nostrils, at the entrance of the nostrils, and in the area around the upper lip. And gently tune into the quality of the breath here. And just for now, just as we begin, no need to force, control, or manipulate the breath. Simply be aware of the quality of inhalation and the quality of exhalation. After the mind is able to peer into the quality of the breath, then bring your attention to the body, the physical body, as you tune into the muscles, the joints, the skin, and see how your body is feeling in this moment. What you could call kaya sati, awareness of the body. Take a moment and feel the contact of your body with the ground underneath you. Even the breath itself is a form of body awareness. And the key is to remain mindful and equanimous, aware and neutral. Finally, allow yourself to bring your attention to the mind itself, the mind and the emotions, in what you could call dhammasati, awareness or mindfulness on the contents, what is inside the mind, the nature of mind itself. We consider this the most subtle anchor of mindfulness, the most hard to define. When you observe the nature of mind itself, having a keen sense of awareness in these 3 points of attention will help keep your practice internally focused. So be aware of the quality of breath as breath, aware of the quality of body as body, and aware of the quality of mind as mind. And then allow yourself a conscious and deep breath in. As you exhale, we'll softly open the eyes, and we are now ready to gently begin. We'll start off with releasing the neck. So as you exhale, let's just drop that head over to the left side and bring your right arm down, placing the fingertips down or the whole palm down as you like. Then gently find the place where the tension in the neck just gets a little bit of a tug, and then lean softly and sweetly into it. Take your left hand and gently hold on to the head as you quietly increase the feeling of lengthening. Be very aware of the quality of the sensations. And if you'd like, you can add your right hand onto the right shoulder, gently guiding the ear on the right side away from the shoulder on the right side. Stay for just another breath or two. And find the place where the tension in your neck starts to unravel, starts to melt away and drop away. Then release your right hand down, release the left hand down, and let your neck gently come back to the center. And then we'll prepare to switch the sides, being aware of any new spaciousness around the neck. Now just drop your head over to the right side and gently extend the left fingers down. As you find the left fingers down, you might also press the palm. Find and look for the place where those bands of tension in the neck can start to melt away. You can take your right hand and gently apply a light amount of weight to the head so that the head starts to gently move away from the left shoulder. You can add your left hand in to gently draw the shoulder down as the left ear moves away from the left shoulder. Don't overdo it. Just lean into those little bands of tension and allow them to melt away. And then release your left hand, release the right hand, and return to neutral for a moment, being aware of the impact of releasing that tension in the neck. And you can give your neck a little bobble from side to side, feeling the center line. Now we'll move over gently onto the hands and knees, and we want to have that bolster handy. So we'll move over onto the hands and knees for a moment. You can keep the hands shoulder width apart. Your feet will come together and the knees slightly wider. And grab hold of the bolster and let's slide that down between the thighs. And then as you exhale, gently sink your hips down onto the feet. And you can layer your hands in whatever position will make you comfortable. And now we begin to really rest the body. Find the support that you need so that your whole body can fully relax and release. Noticing any little bands of tension. Placing a gentle emphasis on elongating the breath so that as you breathe in, you feel the breath coming in, coming in, coming in. And as you breathe out, you feel the breath going out, going out, going out. at least the inhalation and exhalation can be even and equal in measure and length and depth. But as the body relaxes just a little bit more, it is perhaps possible to allow the exhalation to be just a little bit longer. Allow your body to release, to soften, and to melt with support so that you can really feel a sense of opening, surrender, and release. Feel the mind slowing down. As the mind begins to slow down, you can be with your breath, be with your body, be with your mind. And you can allow yourself to be with all that is in a space of no judgment, no judgment, just pure awareness, bare awareness, pure awareness. If you feel you need to shift position, then you're welcome at any moment to shift and wiggle around a little. We'll be here for just a few more breaths, so really enjoy these moments where you find the mind really slowing down, softening, relaxing, letting go. Slowly begin to prepare to move, so you can orient towards the front and delicately come up onto the elbows. Walking the hands back, let's push the bolster just a little forward. And then cross your feet underneath you. And we'll stretch the legs out, coming into a gentle straddle or Upavishta Konasana. You can scoot a little forward, but I really recommend that you, from the seated position, that you do not feel a stretch. So you're in the seated position. Don't feel a stretch when you're up here. So we'll stay upright just for a moment. Drawing the bolster all the way in. And then we'll begin to fold forward. A light activation of the pelvic floor as you slowly move your chest over the bolster. And then again, straightening the arms. You can rest your forehead down, or again, we can rest the chest down and the chin, or the head turning to the side and resting down. Really allow yourself to start off in a comfortable place. So there's total comfort from the beginning. No pull. And then settle in with a few deep breaths. Remember the 3 anchors to rest the mind. Notice your breath as it moves in and the breath as it moves out. Notice the body, how your body feels. If you need to make any little shifts or movements around. Notice the mind and where the mind is going. Cultivating that state of quiet, calm, equanimity. If you feel that the stretch is too intense, you can always lessen it a little. If you need to wiggle your feet, you're welcome to do that. Feel the breath as it moves in, the breath as it moves out. Notice the places of tightness and see if they can gently release. Just a few more breaths and we'll prepare to move. Long deep breath in, long deep breath out. As the mind quiets down, every breath is longer, deeper, more whole, more connected. One more long, deep breath in. Long, deep breath out. Then let's gently engage the feet, activating the pelvic floor, and come back to the center. If you want to lean a little to one side for a moment. And then we'll lean a little to the other side for a moment. And all the way back into the center and up. Very good. Let's gently move the bolster away for a moment, holding underneath the knees and just walking them in. And then when you lean back, you just swing both knees over to the left side for a moment. And swing both knees over to the right side for a moment. And gently find the way back to the center. We'll slowly roll over the feet, staying in a squat for a moment, and then rolling through the toes. I'm sure that this posture will benefit many of us, especially if you have a little tightness in the feet. There are some important energy points in the soles of the feet. So the first option for this posture is to fold forward while pushing weight into the bases of the big toes. The second option for this posture is to come up and sit directly on the heels. And the third option is to place a block between the feet and then sit on the block while stacking the toes underneath. I like the block option, but we want to make sure that all bodies have a variation that is working for you. And again, you make sure that the feet are in a relatively comfortable position. Good. We won't hold this one for quite as long, so close the eyes. And if you need to come out or take a break, you can come out and take a break at any time. But see if you can maintain that gentle pressure down at the base of the big toe. Long deep breath in, long deep breath out. Hold your attention throughout the body in a calm, quiet space of peace. Where there is pain, meet that pain with peacefulness. Not too many more breaths. I know this might be very intense for many of you, myself included. So we just make peace with where we are, bringing the nervous system into a healing space where the body can heal, where pain is part of the experience of transcendence. Of course, always make sure your body is safe. So if you need to lessen the posture, please do so. We have about 5 more breaths. So nice, long, deep breath in as you settle in. Long, deep breath out. Again, long, deep breath in. Long, deep breath out. Just a few more. Feel the body settling, accepting what is, practicing equanimity in the face of discomfort. Transcend. One more long, deep breath in. Long, deep breath out. As you exhale, reach down and grab hold of the ankles and point the feet. Ooh, and that will feel very nice to let the toes point. If you are folded forward, let's gently sit up, and you can either sit on the floor between your feet, or you can sit up on a block, and we'll stay in Virasana, or the hero's pose, just for a few breaths. If the hero's pose is comfortable for you, you could even reduce the block a little bit. Now, reach down and hold onto your feet. This is just a little counter pose. So we'll reach all the way under and hold on to the bases of your big toes. You can round a little bit to get there. And then extend your spine and lift the feet gently up. Allow yourself to just find an easy comfort space. If you cannot reach both feet at the same time, then just do one by one. We won't hold this for quite as long. Just a light counter stretch to feel the toes releasing, the mind again moving into that kind of floaty space, the space between the conscious and the subconscious mind, where the whole body can kind of move into a deep space of healing. One more breath, and then let's gently let that go. Now we'll come off of the block, so let's walk a little forward. Move the block over to the side. And then open the hands, walking the feet a little back. Test out your toes, make sure they're okay after that. And then let's inhale up to downward facing dog. And we'll have 5 breaths in downward dog. The legs quite like to be straight after that deep bend. So we stay here. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Again, deep breath in. And deep breath out. Long, deep breath in. Long, deep breath out. One more. Very good. Let's walk gently forward. And now we have our hanging forward fold. So let's take that soft bend in the knees. And then inhale, lift your hips back and up. And just dangle the body down. Letting the spine surrender to gravity. Letting the shoulders hang. Feeling the soles of the feet opening and releasing into the ground. Feeling the energy of the body just spiral in a flow. And let's bend the knees again. Reconnect into the pelvic floor. And then again, let's straighten the legs and relax the torso again down. If there are any places of intensity, make sure your body is safe, but try not to run away from the intensity. Let the body relax and open. Any pain points, let them gently move into healing. Last one, we'll bend the knees, and if you feel like you'd like to interlock your fingers and release the shoulders, you can let the shoulders drape over the top of the head. And if it's easier to hold on to a strap, then allow yourself to hold the strap. However, if this adds tension, forcefulness, let it go. And then bend the knees, releasing the hands all the way down, taking the hands forward, and let's gently step back to downward dog. You might want to bend the knees and straighten them. Now we will come forward to the pigeon pose. So you can slide your right knee forward and the left hip gently back, or you can open the shin bone so that it's parallel with the front of the mat. If there's discomfort in the knee, then you can grab a block or the bolster and place it underneath the right hip. Now we can stay upright for a moment. If you are already feeling discomfort, then you might want to grab the bolster and place it in front of you and then come down onto the elbows. If you're comfortable on the elbows, see if you can lie all the way down. Perhaps you are so comfortable so that you don't need the bolster and you can just rest on the ground. So, as you're resting, watch the left hip and make sure that the left hip is not rolling back, and allow that left hip to roll towards the ground. For those of you who are very comfortable, you can extend your left arm and then gently lean a little bit over to the left, straightening the right hand. And this body weight lean to the left helps to drop that left hip down. However, if you also just want to close your eyes and relax, you can do that as well. While this posture helps the nervous system relax and opens the hips, you want to keep a very subtle activation of your pelvic floor so that there is still just a wee bit of support that you'll find down in that empty space of the pelvis. Looking very good. Close the eyes and soften down. Long, deep breath in. Long, deep breath out. Feel the body just melting into the ground. The bones settling into the ground. Notice any points of resistance and see if you can let them go. Just a few more moments. So enjoy this time. Long deep breath in. Long deep breath out. Two more. Long deep breath in. Long deep breath out. Last one. Long deep breath in. Long deep breath out. And let's gently, engaging pelvic floor, come on up to the center. Exhale there. We're going to come out nice and slowly. Curl the left toes under. Walk the hands. Press a little weight into your hands and extend the spine ever so slightly. And then, drawing the navel in, let's glide that right leg back. Come up onto your hands and knees. And then, from the hands and knees, we're going to curl the toes and inhale up to downward dog. I'm just going to give that right leg 2 breaths just to come back to the center. 1 breath. Now we switch the sides. Left leg comes forward. You can close the knee or you can keep it open. When you're working with your pigeon pose, keeping the knee closed will help you work towards your lotus position. Keeping the knee open will help you work more towards putting the leg behind the head. So now we stay upright for a moment, and if you want to place that block underneath the left hip, you can reach under, put the block under the left hip, right? So if you're using the block, again, we grab the block and just elevate a little bit to support the knee if you need it. If you don't need it, you're good here. Then we watch the right hip, and you make sure the right hip gets closer to the ground, and then we can come down onto the elbows. Looking good. You can grab that bolster and place it out in front of us, or just stay here on the floor. And then exhale, you can relax all the way down. After you find your contact point with the ground, for those of you who are very comfortable, you can extend your right arm and just lean a little bit into it, either extending the left hand or even just bending the left elbow and just pushing the body weight ever so slightly to the right. And again, this just helps keep that right hip grounded. Long, deep breath in. Long, deep breath out. Feel the body relaxing and releasing. Find those places of tightness and then just ask them to soften, to release. Keep your attention quietly aware of your breath, calmly aware of the body. Quietly aware of the mind. Move into a space of no reactivity, a space of meditative awareness, where what is simply is. Just a few more breaths. Enjoy this time. Feel the body relaxing, melting into the floor, melting into the ground. Feel the contact of the body with the earth underneath you. Remember, if it's getting very intense, and bring the attention to the breath and deepen the breath a little bit. Always feel the body and be with the body in a space beyond judgment, pure awareness. Now we prepare to slowly exit, so activating the pelvic floor. As you inhale now, come up onto the elbows and exhale here. Slowly walk up and lift yourself into a very gentle spinal extension. Now we'll curl the right toes under, coming up onto your hands and knees. Just stay here for a moment. Let's roll the body around. And then move in the other direction. Just kind of feel the hips sliding and gliding. Back to the center. You can wiggle the hips. Roll through the spine. Walking your feet in and across the feet. We'll extend the legs. And then bend the knees and down to constructive rest. Let your body just settle onto the ground for a few breaths, feeling the sacrum, the shoulders, the soles of the feet and the upper arms, making contact with the ground underneath you. Now we'll prepare to use the block. So if you can reach over and grab your block. And we'll do the supported bridge posture. So you can take the block to the lowest position or to the middle position. At least that's where we'll start. Gently lift the hips up, and if you're going on the lowest position, just settle the whole sacrum on the block. Make sure it's the sacrum and not the lower back. If you feel you want to try the middle position, then again the sacrum rests on the block. Make sure it's the sacrum. And then extending the legs so that there's a sense of openness. Your feet can be near each other but don't need to be touching. Hands can either rest somewhere around the hips, or your hands can gently open out to the sides. If you feel there's a lot of weight in the heels, then you might want to point the feet. Otherwise, you can just let the heels and the ankles reach towards the ground. Remember that you don't need it to be intense right from the beginning. You can allow the intensity to slowly build up. After a little bit of time, there'll be an invitation to deepen the posture, or to lessen the posture. It's totally up to you. For the next few breaths, just settle into where you are. Check in with the body. If you'd like to lessen the posture, you can bend the knees and scoot the block down. If you'd like to deepen the posture, then you can turn the block one notch higher. Turning the block one notch higher can be very intense, so be aware. And then extend the legs, keeping the feet relatively close together. If you are at the highest position, this is very intense. So really allow the muscles and the joints to melt and soften. You could keep a slight activation in the feet, just to make sure that the feet are well placed. Feel the body opening and the spine opening, the hips opening, the fronts of the thighs opening, the shoulders relax, the neck relaxes, the hands relax, the mind relaxes, the breath stays very deep, the gluteal muscles relax, the emotions relax. Just a few more breaths and then we'll prepare to exit. So if you're reaching the peak of your intensity, that's totally normal. We have about 5 more breaths, so nice long, deep breath in, long, deep breath out. Again, long, deep breath in, long, deep breath out. Just a few more. Where can you release? Where can you let go? Where can the body soften? 2 more breaths. Long, deep breath in. Long, deep breath out. Last one. Long, deep breath in. As you exhale, bend the knees, firming the pelvic floor, and just settle. Taking the hands to the hips, let's help the hips come off of the block, and then exhale, rolling the tailbone under, placing the block to the side. Let's stay in constructive rest for a few breaths. Feel the vulnerability that's present around the sacrum, the hips, and the lower back, and just welcome that. Let the sacrum receive the energy of the earth, feeling grounded, connected. Walking your feet gently in. We'll point the toes and gently hug the knees all the way in. Just to reset the hips, to reset the lower back, to reset the feet. Now again, as you exhale, rest the feet again back to constructive rest. Let's open the palms, open the knees, and exhale, lie all the way down. If you'd like a little support for your final relaxation, then you might move that bolster underneath the knees. You don't have to, but it might feel a little supportive for the back and the feet and the hips and everything. Let the body just unwind all the bands of tension, untie themselves. Feel all the knots in the body just soften and release. Let your body receive the energy of the earth underneath, moving in like a flow that rolls through every cell of the body and carries away all the tightness, any places of injury or pain. Let that earth energy come in and rebuild the cells and the molecules of the body. Feeling the whole body release into a harmonious flow with the energy of the earth. Feeling yourself renewed. We'll slowly prepare to come out. Begin with a long, deep breath in and a long, deep breath out. Bring the attention to fingers, toes, hands and feet. Maintaining the meditative space, begin to gently move as though you're emerging from a nice, restful night's sleep. Move your head from side to side. Gently move the legs and the arms. Softly bend the knees. You can put the feet on a bolster if you were using that. And then gently roll over to the side. Resting here for a moment, feeling the floor and the earth underneath you. Letting the head remain very heavy. Let's slowly find the way up to a comfortable seated position. Eyes closed again. Tune into breath, body and mind. Feeling a sense of renewal. Feeling the energy of the body in a state of harmony and flow. And gently bring your hands together. May I share whatever peace, whatever harmony I've experienced with all beings in my life. As you exhale, softly open the eyes. Thank you so much for joining me on this practice. May you be happy, may you be peaceful, may you be filled with love. Namaste.